Do you ever look in the mirror and all of a sudden you feel your stomach drop because you absolutely hate what you see in the reflection? This episode is for you. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about a very sensitive subject, and it's about body shaming, your reflection in the mirror, and what happens when you don't like what you see. We all know what a mirror is, and when it's in your house or it's somewhere else, it's glass. It is what it is. In dance, the mirror is so much more. Aside from the fact that it's the best tool to use when learning how to dance, when learning body alignment, it's also a judge, a comparison tool, a confidence amplifier, a confidence destroyer, a reality check, a storyteller, and a lot of times a liar. The mirror reflects your movement, yes, and it also reflects a piece of your identity. That's why I have some dancers who like to avoid the mirror at all costs. They don't look at themselves. And that's why others stare at it and look at it like it has all of the answers. So let's think together about a time where we've second-guessed our body, our shape, the way it felt, the way it looked. I can remember a time so vividly where we talked about the body, specifically cellulite. I just remember sitting in circle time before a twerk shop, and it just so happened to be that someone in circle ended up opening up about the fact that this was the first time that they were wearing shorts in public. Now, if you've ever done twerk before, you know that the more things jiggle, the better the twerk. And that's another reason why I just love twerk shops. In fact, I'm going to be teaching a twerk shop in just a couple hours. And it's such a beautiful expression of jiggle because we're honoring it. And basically, the more that we allow to shake, the better. Now, when that girl opened up and said, "This is the first time I'm wearing shorts," it didn't just end with her. Shortly after that, as we went around, people said their names and they said, "This is my first time wearing shorts in public. This is my first time wearing shorts in public. This is my first time." And it just became this really great connecting point where I noticed right away that this meant something. My history is a little bit different because I've danced since I was a kid. And I also did gymnastics. And I was on the competitive team, and you couldn't wear shorts. Like, you had to wear a leotard, and that was it. Even when you had your period. That's why a lot of girls, if they weren't using tampons, they would stay home from gymnastics because they didn't want to wear a pad with their leotard. It's kind of funny thinking about that now. I mean, things have changed so much. I would just imagine that more people are wearing tampons than they were back then. I could be wrong. I didn't stat check that. But I think about that and like what that does to us. Like when we're just wearing basically our bare skin in public and how used to it we get. In fact, being a professional dancer, you're backstage and you're changing and you're naked while you're getting your next costume on, especially if you have a quick change. So it's a familiarity thing to constantly be aware of your body and how it looks. Also how it feels. One of my biggest things with the studio is longevity and having the ability to dance as we age. I know for me personally, that's one of my goals is to bring dance with me through all of my ages. And so after listening to these women talk about how uncomfortable it was to wear shorts in public and how much of an achievement it was, it got me thinking, wow, there needs to be more opportunities for people to embrace what they're learning to love about their bodies. And two, it made me think, why are we holding back from something that is us, our body? Our body allows us to do so much every day. And that accompanied with one of my all-time least favorite phrases, which is, before I start dance, I'm going to lose weight first. And I always kind of like, I don't know, it's not really a cringe, but it's like a, really? Why? Like one, why waste your time? Two, why wait? And three, don't you know? Like we have so many people starting dance that have absolute amazing dance transformations, body transformations, mental transformations. It's actually so impressive. So when someone says to me, "Oh, I'm going to wait until I lose weight," I'm like, you're actually just making an excuse that sounds like it makes sense, but really it doesn't, because dance is the vehicle to do all of these things. Dance is your vehicle to lose the weight you want to lose. Dance is your vehicle to find your friends that you want to find. Dance is the vehicle to find the confidence that you've never thought you could have. Dance is the vehicle for you to be able to take your shirt off in front of your person. And so then the other time when I think about this is when I have clients tell me, I'm going to be late. I'm just switching my outfit. I hate what I'm wearing. Or I hate the way I look in this, so I'm changing. And we've all been there. I mean, I get in that frame of mind all the time when I'm wearing like real people clothes. How ironic. When I'm wearing less clothes, I'm fine. But when I'm wearing more clothes, I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. And what I figured out is it doesn't feel right because it's not a part of me. So when I dress like business casual, like I'm going someplace in public that's not the dance studio, not the club, not a wedding, I am like, whoa, this is like, who is this? Who is she? What is she wearing and why is she wearing so much clothes? It feels uncomfortable for me because it's not deeply a part of me and my personality. Though it is. It's just something that I haven't gotten a chance to express a lot. So my comfort level is a little bit questionable. Just the same as when someone's starting a dance class, their comfort level isn't there yet. In fact, they're building their comfort level towards being able to do those things. Some of the classes that we have at the studio, we have Tease, which is our slow class. We have Twerk, which is all about getting that booty out. We have Slow and Sexy, Sexy Chair. We have Strut, which is a mix of a bunch of different styles. And if you were to look at our Instagram or see some of the videos, you would see beautiful women, confident women, wearing really cute outfits, looking fly. And you would also see all different shapes and sizes, all different types of people. And the point is not to change yourself to find your confidence. The point is to find yourself where you are right now and build confidence from there. I don't know if you remember the episode on Be, Do, Have. It's one of my favorite episodes, so if you haven't listened to it yet, please do. It's episode 27, and what it states is that before you have it, you are being it. You are doing what that person that you admire with all the confidence in the world, you're doing the actions of that person. You are being that person before you are that person. So let's break it down for just a quick second so you can visualize this. Let's say that you are having a hard time wearing less clothes, or you are having a hard time figuring out what to wear to class. You're uncomfortable in your body. You're uncomfortable looking at your reflection in the mirror. You feel bad about it. You haven't lost the weight you wanted to lose yet. You haven't gained the weight you wanted to gain yet. You're in a place where you don't like your reflection. So instead of thinking, when I like my reflection, that's when life is going to start for me. That's when I'm going to start dancing. That's when I'm going to start meeting people. And until then, I'm going to hide myself. I'm going to try my best to work out at the gym. I'm going to try my best to lose this weight. Instead of the realization that, oh, what does a person who loves their body do? Well, they definitely go to a dance class and work it. What does a person who is excited about themselves do? Oh, well, they put themselves out there, that's for sure. They don't feel shy about meeting someone, and if they do it with fear anyway. So this concept can really change your life, and actually I think that's the title of it. It's This Concept Will Change Your Life, Be, Do, Have. And I want you to see what you can do this week to get into that mindset and to get into the reframe that we do not need to have something in order to be that way. So I don't need to have my weight loss before I enjoy whatever it is I want to enjoy with weight loss. When you can master this concept and you can change the way that you are looking at yourself in the mirror, imagine every mirror that you went to. Actually, I'm going to assign you some homework. Every mirror that you go to for the next week, I want you to just give yourself a little something special. It could be a compliment. It could be like, hey, you look good today. It could be, wow, love what you did with that hair. It could be something very deep. It could be like, wow, you worked so hard on that project this week. Or, wow, how thoughtful of a gift you just made for your significant other. So the key is every time you step by a mirror, instead of avoiding it, you're going to look at it. You're going to say something beautiful. You can repeat in the beginning. However, try to think of new things. Try to think of great things. And what this is, it's kind of like exposure therapy in a way, though you know I'm not a therapist and I'm not giving out therapy advice right now, but it's exposure for you to get in front of the mirror and to feel like you can build a relationship with that reflection. Like you can feel like you can love her instead of hate her. Can you do that? I think you can. And I think you can if you know what comes out on the other side. So what's waiting for you on the other side is happiness, confidence. The need of second guessing yourself is no longer there. Love for yourself, love for your roles, love for your cellulite, love for the parts of you that you've always questioned. Because I gotta say, when I zoom out at the studio and I'm just like looking at every single person, I think about how beautiful we all are, how individual we all are, and how freaking boring it would be if we all had the same exact body and the same exact look. It really wouldn't be as cool. And dance is such a great place to see and admire that because every body looks different while dancing. So picture it. The same move on a bunch of different bodies looks different and in a beautiful way. I mean, we're not trying to be the Rockettes either, so even better. And if you don't know, Rockettes, they're trying to look the same. Everyone is trying to look like one unified group. So that's their goal. But that's not our goal. That should not be your goal. My goal for you, though, is to love your individuality, to love your reflection, and to love what you see on the dance floor within yourself. Because it's unique to you, it's special to you, and it's something worth celebrating. This next part is what to do when you don't like your reflection. These are 5 main tips, and I'll break them down with more description. So the first is to see what you can do to not look in the mirror. The second is to watch for specific things. The third is to name what you do like. The fourth is to pretend like you're watching a friend. The fifth is to ask where this came from. Once we get used to this mirror activity, I want to revisit what the mirror is actually for. We don't want to use the mirror to question ourselves, to judge ourselves, to beat ourselves up. We want to use the mirror strategically to learn dance. The mirror, it's feedback, it's pathways, it's alignment, it's angles. Dancers love diagonals. It's shapes, it's consistency, it's facials, and intention. The mirror is not a museum. It's not a beauty test. It's not a comparison contest. And it's not there for approval. The sole purpose of the mirror is to check, does my alignment look like the teacher's? Am I doing this correctly? Oh, do I need to move my arm slightly forward? Oh, I think I do. Not, do I look pretty today? Do I look skinny enough? Am I acceptable? Do you think he'll like me? Now, it goes without saying, there are days for all of us that can almost take away all of the work that we've done. And you know when that will come up too. So let's fast forward, you've worked on this or you're working on it currently. You get into a zone where maybe you just notice that you're like picking your clothes, you adjust them, you tuck things in, you try to hide things. You're going to also notice that your posture is going to drip down, and that's not good for a dancer, but it's going to go like this. And you might notice you might not show up as often. And actually, you could create a cycle that gets you further and further away from the dance floor. Because what happens when you stop your consistent physical activity? Things change. So it is an ongoing process. And on the days where you feel like it's extra hard to stay in that mind frame, I invite you to feel the movement rather than watching it with a keen eye. I invite you to ask the question of, how do I look in the context of this move or this dance? Not, how do I look today in this outfit? How's my body looking? Questions like, look at my feet placement. Look at where my head is. Which way are my eyes tracking? Let me check out my timing. Where is my chest sitting? And then what could be hard that day? Could be a stream of days, but it's to really hone in on things that you do love. So 3 is a magic number. We know this. It's a magic number. And if 3 is hard, choose one. I know you'll be able to pick out one thing that you love. It can be tiny and keep it in the context of dance. So, oh, I made that adjustment and now my line is cleaner. I just noticed that when I took that extra breath, my shoulders look more relaxed. Oh, wow. I see that my timing improved on that one part that kept tripping me up. Wow, my face looks alive when I make that face. I'm going to do that again during that same part. The next step is to pretend like you're looking at a friend, because I know that you would never be as mean as you are to yourself to one of your besties. We've heard this before. We know that it's true. You know that it's true, yet you still do it. So if they were having a hard day, what would you say to them? And if it helps, talk to yourself in the third person. And then the next thing, if you want to go really deep, is to figure out where it's coming from. Is it perfectionism? Is it an old story that you're telling yourself? Is it a specific insecurity? Was it something someone said when they were in 7th grade to you that you've never forgotten? Or is it actually your movement? It's an important thing to know where this is all coming from, because as soon as you have awareness, you can address it properly. All of this is teaching you emotional honesty. So now we're going to talk about how dance actually heals your reflection. One of my favorite things about dance is how it shows us it's okay to take up space. It begs of us to be large, big, expansive. That's how those movements look so beautiful, is when they're big. When they're short and condensed and small, they're questioning. They don't look full out. Dance teaches us that you're allowed to be seen, and we want you to be seen. In fact, that circle time where everyone was talking about their shorts, not only were they seen through dance, but they were seen through each other. They had so much to bond over in that one class that they all shared, and then they all did it together. Their first time wearing shorts in public, and their first time twerking in public, and their first time wearing shorts twerking in public. Dance teaches us that, yes, as much as the aesthetic of dance is so beautiful, so is the expression. And I always tell this story about this girl that I watched dance, and she was doing such a great job, but her emotion and her expression was not there. So therefore, her aesthetic didn't even matter. The fact that she was doing things that looked good didn't even matter, because she just looked like she had a huge sourpuss on her face, and it was not entertaining. Dance is one of those things that you get better with all the reps that you do. In fact, I think it's safe to say that a lot of things are like that. Get in the reps. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Get them in, get them in. Because the more reps you can get in, the more each one will be less important. The more twerk shops you go to, the less you're going to care what you're wearing, the less you'll obsess. And this is another thing, and this one really speaks to me, because whenever I'm in a photo, I always feel like, that's not how I remember myself feeling or looking. And I feel like the photo is so still that I've always said to myself, internally and sometimes to Josh, like, I just like videos of myself better, because it catches me like in the movement, in the stream of action. So this next one is, dance teaches us that we are not just a snapshot in time. So that could mean in that present moment, that day, in that dance class, doing that move. And it can also mean that one moment in time is not our whole life. So thinking back, I mean, just for an easy way to explain this, when you go to college, you gain the freshman 15, that's a moment in time. And that's not our whole life. Or you are postpartum and you're working on losing your baby fat, that's a moment in time. You are more than the snapshot in the mirror. There's so much that the mirror does not pick up. Eventually, you will stop relying on the mirror to validate you, and you'll learn how to validate without even looking, and trust that the mirror is there just for your growth. So to finish out this episode, I wanted to give you some reflection questions to write down and answer as we talk about this very relatable subject. There are 5 questions. The first is, what did I tell myself when I saw my reflection today? The second is, did I judge the moment or did I observe it? The third is, did my movement make me feel something before the mirror did? The fourth is, what part of my identity showed up during the reflection? The fifth is, if I could decide who I wanted to see next week, who is she? And one little bonus one is the reminder to always include this in your mirror practice, which is telling yourself something or more things, remember 3 is the magic number, that you love about yourself. And this could be the physical attribute or something deeper, which is the one that I prefer to do. Now, the goal for doing this, the way to do it really good, is looking at your eyeballs in the mirror and saying your name out loud to the reflection. And know that it might take some practice and it might feel kind of weird / cringy to do it at the beginning, but the results are very impactful. I would absolutely love to hear back from you. Feel free to share anything with me on Instagram and I will respond. I hope that you are able to build a stronger self-image of yourself and to quit body shaming forever. Thank you so much. And if this was helpful for you, it would mean the world to me if you left a 5-star written review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. This is the only way the podcast can grow and to be shared with people just like you on their dance journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.